Okay, so today's video I want to basically explain the stance that has been basically, putting me on the boundaries or out of bounds when it comes to my founder friends and all of this stuff. And that is basically if I'm hiring someone and this person does not use AI, I am not hiring them. And this is something that I came to the conclusion on in 2025 December. And that was because, like, looking at the rate at which AI is progressing, even though, yes, I'm a tech guy and blah, 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 most of the roles I hire for is basically tech or some sort of, first thinking principle role. But nevertheless, if they do not use AI, be it in sales, be it in marketing, be it in copywriting, be it in even VA itself, um, I will not hire them. And that is because nowadays it's so easy to go ahead, it's so easy to get ahead that if you are not willing to get ahead, even with extra tools that is free on the internet for you to learn, like bro, everything I learned on YouTube. And if you don't want to learn this and you basically sit down there and you're like, I hate, if you hate AI, you're not even coming to the business, like you're not even doing the interview. But let's say if I'm hiring for a role and I see two guys who are of the same skill level and one is able to use AI and one doesn't, I'll basically pick the one that uses AI over the one that doesn't use AI. And my reason for this is because the person using AI will be able to adapt to the changes really, really quickly. Because the thing with AI is that there's a lot of changes happening every day. Now, that being said, I just mostly recommend them to use Claude, Claude Cowork, and maybe Claude Code depending on the role, but basically Claude. But the thing is, if you want to basically have A players, or if you want to have people that you can train to A players, so let's say B plus players and train, well, I don't like having B plus players. I like to say what is an A player. But then if you want to have the best A players or you want to have the A players who keep on improving themselves, then you basically need someone, or you basically need to have people on your team who are basically using AI, because I think AI is going to be a very big staple or a very big requirement in a lot of these job posts in the future. I mean, right now we are kind of adapting, the whole of humanity is kind of adapting to it. So we all kind of hate it to an extent. Like, I kind of hate the AI stuff that is going on Twitter or on X, also on LinkedIn. But then in the coming future, it's going to be a way, it's going to be like a staple, it's going to be like, the norm. So I have already incorporated it into the norm, into the businesses that I work with. And yeah, that's the reason why I don't pretty much hire anyone who doesn't like to use AI if they are coming to work for me. Because the thing is, yes, you need to know what you need to know. You need to know like the stuff that you have to do. But with AI, you can basically enhance your work by 10x. As a salesperson, you can use it to analyze your calls and basically do feedback. I think when I was learning sales, it was a point whereby I basically had ChatGPT on as, like, let's say, the voice mode, and I'll basically role play with ChatGPT back in 2025 April. So this is something that I encourage my sales rep to do, or like the people that I kind of train in sales. And also in terms of copywriting, like if you do not use copywriting for AI, I do not know what you are doing. Now you might say, yes, AI is not good for copywriting. It is. For me, how I do is, especially with the creators and the business owners that I work with, at the beginning of the week, I let them send me like 7 voice notes, and I basically transcribe these voice notes and use these voice notes as email if possible. Now, there's a lot of ways or a lot of other strategies that I could definitely go on, like in terms of automations, just connect Claude to make.com, tell Claude what you want to do, and Claude will basically create all of the automation for you. And you can even give it the credentials in the Claude chat, which I never recommend doing that. But then in terms of automations, just use Claude and all of these stuff. So, you know, this is the reason why I do not hire people who do not like using AI. Yes, there are some guys that will try and use AI on the interview. I think I've gone through a few of these, like ask them a question and basically they'll wait 3 seconds and spit out a perfect answer. Just don't let me know. But then apart from that, like if for me and for the roles that are behind for in the future and for the future roles that will be coming on, like if they did not use I am not pretty much incentivized to carry them on or put them on the team, just because they'll be lapped around by someone who is basically on their same level and doing AI or using AI. So yeah, that was that for this video. A little bit of a rant, but then it has to be because I see a lot of stuff basically happening in this space, and I think sometimes you need something new.